So guys, Omoyele Sowore was abducted by the DSS, and I call them Daura State Service Operatives. That's what they are. And recently, DSS has decided to speak. They say Sowore's uncontrollable supporters mobbed him in court. Claims none of its operatives enter the courtroom. As reactions continue to trail the rearrest of the publisher of Sowore Reporters, Mr. Omoyele Sowore, who is also the convener of Revolution Now, the Department of State Services has denied that its operatives attempted to arrest Sowore in the courtroom. It claimed it was Sowore's uncontrollable supporters that mobbed him in court. Well, we all know that that's a lie because we saw the video, we saw all what happened. There was this unknown man holding down to Sowore on the seat, and one other guy, I don't know what he used, an unknown man tapped him with some substance, strange substance around his neck, and he turned and he said, "Who hit me? Why did you hit me? What did you hit me?" In fact, there are fears that Omoyele Sowore might be trying to assassinate Omoyele Sowore, as he said that Buhari sent his cousins from Daura and the cabals and the rest of the criminals, they sent them to him and some other popular newspaper journalists and editors and CEOs. They were sent to him and they asked him to be part of them. They asked him to receive their bribe and whatever they are going to pay him and whatever it is for him to stop this revolution now. And he said, "No, I am fighting for the emancipation of the poor masses. I am not sectional. I am not ethnic. I am not tribal. I am not saying Igbo, Yoruba, Hausa, Ijaw, where he's from and the rest of that. I'm talking about the challenges that we have in this nation and how we can get ourselves out of this." Just like how Buhari protested against Goodluck Jonathan. Yes, some people do say, well, he helped kick out Goodluck Jonathan and he brought in Buhari. I think that's a myopic way of thinking. All he did was to show the rot that was in the past administration. And when this man came in the hope that he was going to do the right thing, but we see that he's also practicing autocracy. That is what he's practicing: dictatorship, authoritarian rule, disregard for the rule of law, and all of that. And one would want to look this closer rather than just speaking and saying, "Oh, he deserves it. Goodluck Jonathan was better." How is it better if he is looting, stealing your present, past, and future just like the rest of them? So, in a statement issued on Saturday by the DSS, they said it had become important to respond to the serial misinformation being circulated in the media on the arrest of Omoyele Sowore. And of course, we all know that Mandate escaped. He was much younger, and I think they had to allow him to quickly escape. In the statement signed by its spokesperson, always Peter Afunaya, you know him, you always see him licking his mouth is always oily. And when we're young, they say people that have such oily mouth, they are always liars. The secret police denied that any of its operatives entered the courtroom to arrest Sowore, adding that the DSS, as a professional, responsible and law-abiding organization, could not have invaded a courtroom, including the one presided over by a respected judge who is not only handling its case, but whose order was unconditionally obeyed within the 24-hour ultimatum. Now, question is this: if it was obeyed in 24 hours, why is DSS even at all around there? And why is Omoyele Sowore carted away, kidnapped by the members of the DSS? Narrating its own side of the story, DSS said when Sowore stepped out of the court and cited operatives of the service within the premises, he ran back into the courtroom in a bid to shield him from an imaginary arrest. His uncontrollable supporters mobbed him while chanting, "You can't arrest him." Thus, the pandemonium that ensued. That is what he said. So, guys, it's a terrible thing. I'm going to read the press release that this Afunaya from the southeastern part of Nigeria, a Southerner, an Igbo man, a Biafran, working for these cabals. Now, I'm going to read it quickly. It said, it has become important that the Department of State Services responds to the serial misinformation being circulated in the media about its involvement in the incident that occurred on the 6th of December 2019 at the Federal High Court, Abuja. It is instructive to note that during the court proceeding of the day under reference, Defense Counsel Femi Falana, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, called the attention of the judge to a suspicion that the service was planning to rearrest Omoyele Sowore immediately after the court session. The court discountenanced the alarm and asserted that the service was law-abiding and would not engage in such, and subsequently adjourned to February 2020. However, when Sowore stepped out of the court and cited operatives of the service within the premises, he ran back into the court in a bid to shield him from an imaginary arrest. His uncontrollable supporters were the ones chanting, "You cannot arrest him." Thus, the pandemonium that he showed. Now, with all this story and lies that came out from the mouth of this man, the thing just runs out like a tap, uncontrollable tap. He's the one that said Omoyele Sowore will be hit by a car if released and all those trash that came out from him. Now he's saying that Omoyele Sowore ran back. We all saw the video. He never ran back. We saw what happened in the courtroom. A man held on to Omoyele Sowore and held him pinned down. That is what happened. And eventually, when he gave his press release, and he spoke and he said how they were trying to bribe him, they were walking down the corridor. And of course, DSS were outside waiting. And they blocked the car and the convoy. They blocked the car of Femi Falana, the legal representative. We all saw the video. They blocked it in a bid to arrest him. That is why the people reacted and said, "You cannot arrest him. You cannot arrest him." What is this man calling us? A critical look at the videos in circulation, he said, would convince any objective viewer that there was no DSS personnel during the entire period the Sowore crowd acted out its orchestrated drama. Its personnel were never at any time involved in the incident. In actual fact, it was his people who seized him, and from the latest development, it has become obvious that the intent for such mischief was meant for simply to serve a propagandist purpose as well as bring the service to disrepute. That's what he said, disrepute. Eyewitness and several media accounts have disclosed that the court had adjourned peacefully without an untoward incident when suddenly the unruly crowd imported into the courtroom went into frenzy on the mere suspicion that DSS was sighted at the court premises. The eventual rearrest of Sowore by the DSS was effected outside the courtroom. His lead counsel has affirmed this. Now, question is why would they even arrest him if the court has granted him bail? This man is just spewing dirt, spewing trash, spewing shit from all the holes that he has all over his body, from his mouth, his nose, his eyes. Why would they rearrest him? The DSS, as a professional, responsible, and law-abiding organization, could not have invaded a courtroom, including the one presided by the judge, Justice Ojukwu. Of course, she worked for them. So that is what they have to say. They said it has therefore become unarguable and raises a moral question as to who, between Sowore and the services, dislikes or disobeys the courts in this regard. Public attention may be drawn to the 25th July 2019 statement of Sowore that "I am not talking of protest. I am embarking on revolution. Don't tell me about legal implications or what a judge will say. I don't care." On 5th December, when Sowore was released, he had, at the Transcorp Hilton Hotel, Abuja, addressed a group of persons who he reassured of his cause to create anarchy in the country. And that is the reason why the DSS claim they rearrested him. How is this possible? It may be recalled that the service had on 3rd December 2019 raised alarm about a plot to destabilize the country. It is quite remarkable that the plot has already started playing out. To ensure this objective is further achieved, some persons and groups are scurrying to seize the opportunity of the misleading court incident and the wrong narrative against the DSS to organize an insurrection in the country. They have continued to falsely curry and mobilize international sentiments and attention through clear misinterpretations of the facts for their selfish ends. For emphasis, it should be noted that Sowore is facing trial not as an activist, journalist, or a politician, but for his resort to call for violence, forceful takeover of government, and suspected transnational illegal activities. It is most unfortunate that Sowore, based on court order, resorted to act inimical to security. To this effect, only Sowore has been rearrested, as his co-defendant Olawale was not picked up, even when Falana had promised to deliver him to the service that is not presently interested in him. That is the DSS. Although the guy escaped, he escaped because he granted an interview, that is Olawale Bakareke mandate, and he said he is running for his life. Through sections of the populace have been fed with suspicious, spurious narratives about this development. Nigerians and international communities should not be gullible or even vulnerable to the machinations of groups desirous of misleading them. The service is committed to the discharge of its mandate of detecting and preventing threats against the internal security of Nigeria. It supports democracy in the country and will do all that is legal to protect it. It will also ensure that efforts of anti-democratic forces are frustrated. This is written by Peter Afunaya, and he said he has a PhD. A shame, just like the vice president, a PhD holder, yet they are being used by an Hausa Fulani man that cannot present his own level. What a shame. We all know that these are all lies and it is not true. Omoyele Sowore is being persecuted, kidnapped because he is leaking out dirty information about this government and past government. How the central bank is involved in corrupt practices, how Buhari is practicing autocracy, how billions of naira are being looted, collected back from the criminals and taken back by the same thieves. That is what he's coming up to say. And of course, he said revolution. Yes, we all need this revolution in Nigeria. Let us all be a revolutionary that reflects. Let us fight against tyranny. Let us speak with one voice. Use your platform. Speak with one voice. Post videos. Do short videos. Put videos out there. Let them know that Buhari is a criminal and this administration, they are all tyrants. That is what I have for you guys for now. If you're not a member of this channel, let us grow it together by simply tapping on the subscription button and a red notification icon bell. This will automatically make you a member of this channel. And of course, it will alert you whenever videos are uploaded. Thanks for stopping by.